Now, skipping ahead, this was the reason why should also be rejected. Is another objection, is because this entire concept of the Trinity was invented in a later council called the Council of Nicaea. So it was invented there. So therefore, it's completely false.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned the word being, three beings, and that's one thing that if you actually know about the history of the ecumenical councils, they weren't inventing doctrines. They were affirming doctrines that the church had already well established and well believed, all the way going from the Gospel of John to the letters of the Trinitarian baptismal formula was very well established. These councils simply wanted to create they wanted to refine their philosophical categories and their terminology so as to affirm what the Bible taught and not create contradictions. So to speak logically, concisely, and clearly communicate. But most of them, correct me if I'm wrong, Sean, were in response to heresies that were combating the doctrine of the Trinity. And the Council of Nicaea, by the way, was really just affirming the deity of Christ. It was the Chalcedonian Council that actually debated the nature of Jesus' divinity and human self. Like, was he one nature, two natures? And they affirmed that he was two, not only natures, but complete, fully man and fully God.
Yeah, they came up with a fancy term called the hypostatic union. If you're talking to a Muslim on this, however, they're not going to follow. What they need to do is be able to say, okay, you made the claim about Christian history. How much have you read on this? The best resource that you have are the ones that were actually written at the council. It's called the rudder, like the boat part. The rudder of ecumenical councils. And if you can't spell that, just parse it out. Maybe Google will help you. But the rudder of ecumenical councils includes notes not just on Nicaea, but others, where extensively they discussed what was talked about and in what sense. And you're going to notice that, as you were saying, Adrian, every single time these subjects got brought up or an objection was made, the answers were just referencing the words of Allah according to the Quran. It was all given citation, just saying, what do you do with this passage? They'd do a little song and dance. Okay, what do you do about this passage? And it ultimately trapped them in a corner. Now, the Da Vinci Code was not only an outright lie, but is something that has unfortunately been popularized as actual history. If you want to actually learn history, read the people who were taking notes at the time of it. And if you note an elaborate conspiracy and say that, oh, well, the church just wrote that later and covered it all up, well, now let's go into Islamic history and talk about the formulation of Tawheed. And I'd encourage you not to, because it's very bloody. But the point being made is this. If you're going to hold a standard to Christianity, or at least cry conspiracy every single time something comes out, and pull a Sneeko, I guess, and say, well, the book of the Council of Nicaea was taken out of the New Testament. You don't know what you're talking about. But you don't have to be as upfront on that. Christian speaking to Christian, ask your Muslim friend, or at least the one who's talking to you, where ultimately did that conversation take place? Where and when? Show me the documents, because if leaders weren't taking notes, then there's no reason for you to believe that was when it took place. If there are notes, I have a book ready for you. Then when did this topic come up? The conversations about Jesus are the same reasons why there are so many written documents about Muhammad, because he's very relevant to our religion and worldview. But if you don't allow for Christians to speak for themselves on what ultimately defines those terms or what those terms even mean, be prepared for us to do the same thing with the Quran, and you're going to understand just how disrespectful and insincere that is.